This isn't how our lives are supposed to be, Elena.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 saddest Vampire Diaries moments.
When you lose somebody, every candle, every prayer is not going to make up for the fact that the only thing that you have left is a hole in your life where that somebody that you cared about used to be.
You're grieving. Oh, this isn't grief. I know grief. This is different.
Every inch of this house is filled with memories of the people that I love that have died.
For this list, we'll be looking at moments from the supernatural teen drama that made us ugly cry. If you haven't already finished the series, spoiler alert ahead. Which moment made you cry the most? Let us know in the comments. Number 10. Elena says goodbye to everyone in her coma. Not many shows would continue if one of the main characters decided to leave. But after 6 years, TVD writers were not ready to end their story when actress Nina Dobrev was.
Ready to spend the next 60 years of my life without you in it. Who's ever gonna be ready for that?
Instead, they wrote Elena and all of her doppelgangers out of the show. At the end of the 6th season, Kai escapes from his prison world and casts a spell tying Elena's life to Bonnie's, leaving Elena in a coma until Bonnie dies.
Oh, and please don't go looking for some weird, witchy workaround, because as the incredibly powerful leader of the Geminis, I rigged this so that if you do try to outsmart it, both you and Elena will die. Instantly.
Thanks to the vampires' ability to get into each other's heads, each main character gets a chance to say their goodbye to Elena. Seeing a main character leave a show is a unique kind of sad, made only harder by the recap of Elena's life through the goodbyes.
Things are gonna be awfully dull around here without you.
Number 9. Elena's Car Crash. Can you imagine having to experience the same accident twice? This is what Elena had to live through.
Matt, look out!
Stuck between Stefan and Damon, Elena and Matt accidentally drive off the Wickery Bridge, and she's forced to relive the car crash that turned her into an orphan. She's met with the same fate as her parents and drowns in the car. As she dies, so too does Alaric, whose life is tied to hers. If her death wasn't enough to turn on the waterworks, Damon witnessing Alaric's death and making the connection that Elena had died might be.
Where is she?
No, Damon,
Where is she?
wait! You need to know, when Jeremy brought Elena in here earlier tonight, her injuries were worse than I let on.
Number 8. Jennas Death. You would think that the Gilberts would have reached their maximum capacity for grief when they lost both parents in one car crash. But then, that's only the start to their misery.
I'm so sorry that you've lost so many people.
Just when Elena thinks her life can't get worse, Klaus murders her new guardian. Jenna is turned into a vampire to complete Klaus's ritual to give himself more power.
It's all right, Elena. I know what I have to do.
She tries to stop the ritual, and Klaus retaliates by staking her in the heart. But the writers didn't think that was heart-wrenching enough, so Elena had to be there to witness the entire thing. Number 7. Elena forgets loving Damon. Delena fans spent years wondering, will they, won't they? They finally admit they belong together, but it's too late.
We need to find them. We need to start the spell again.
We can't, that was our one shot.
Damon gets stuck on the other side, and Elena is unable to accept that he's gone. By now, we're used to seeing her handle grief, so seeing her not handle it was uncomfortable.
But every time, I let it sink in that I'm never gonna see him again. I feel like I'm gonna die.
She asks the original vampire, Alaric, to outright erase her love from her memory. But erasing one memory isn't enough. We have to watch Alaric painstakingly go through and rewrite the story of Delena, souring the whole relationship.
Who is Damon Salvatore?
He's Stefan's brother. He's a monster. And then he died.
Number 6. Sheriff Forbes dies. The pain Caroline goes through when she turns her humanity back on is only seconded by the grief faced the day her mom died.
I didn't get to say goodbye. I
I didn't get to say goodbye to my mom.
Liz played an important role in a lot of people's lives and overcame a pretty rough relationship with her daughter. After standing by the Mystic Falls vampires and helping to save them time and time again, she's diagnosed with cancer, the one thing the vampires can't save her from.
I did everything right, Damon. I lived a good life. I took care of my family.
I know. Sometimes really terrible things happen to really amazing people.
As Caroline sits by her mother's deathbed, she's consumed with guilt over all the loose ends left between them.
I was supposed to give her peace and convince her that I would be okay and thank her for being an amazing mom.
She can do little more than be present for Liz's final moments, and then face living a world without her. Number 5, Bonnie's funeral. There's not a major problem the characters face that Bonnie doesn't have a hand in fixing. She consistently puts her life on the line to protect her friends and family.
Say that I'm not going anywhere. Say that even though they couldn't see me, I've been there the whole time.
But she eventually gambled with her life one too many times when she brought Jeremy back to life and ended up dying.
You realize what you just did? Why would you say that? I'm sorry.
Bonnie had lived in Mystic Falls her whole life, making an impact on so many people. Seeing them all come together to honor and share memories about such a beloved character is almost too much to handle.
This is all I wanted. I'll be okay.
Number 4, Enzo's Death. After spending the majority of his life as a vampire lab rat, no one deserves happiness quite like Enzo. And he finally found it with Bonnie, who also had her fair share of traumatic life experiences.
One day we'll do that for real. Thank you, Tony.
They were getting ready to take action to leave the life of magic when No Humanity Stefan shows up and rips Bonnie's heart out by literally ripping Enzo's out of his chest. Her anguish and mega powerful psychic abilities create a new dimension much like Cade's hell, cementing her in a life of the supernatural. This scene leaves us wondering why the worst things happen to the best characters.
He loved you. He wouldn't want you to suffer.
Number 3, Damons Death and goodbye to Elena. Before she gets a chance to have Alaric erase him from her memory, she has to lose him. He gets stuck on the other side, which is on the verge of collapse, with Bonnie.
Well, would you look at that?
No one knows what will happen to those stuck, but Bonnie knows they won't be around much longer, and gives Elena a chance to say goodbye. They had just admitted to themselves that they belonged together when he crossed over, and no one was ready for their love story to come to an end.
The fact that I get to die knowing that I was loved. Not just by anyone. By you. Elena Gilbert. It's the epitome of a fulfilled life.
After facing so much loss, it's apparent Elena is not ready for Damon to leave her, and honestly, neither were we.
Please come back to me.
Bye.
Number 2, Elena realizing Jeremy is dead and not coming back. Jeremy had faced death before, but this time he didn't have his ring or vampire blood to bring him back to life. We watch as Elena goes through the stages of grief, unable to accept her brother's death until she smells his rotting corpse.
How long has he smelled like that?
Hey, talk to me. I can help you.
How are you gonna help me? How?
With her emotions heightened as a new vampire, Elena is unable to handle the pain and absolutely loses it. She decides the only thing to do is burn down her childhood home, with her brother's corpse inside.
My mom, my dad, Jeremy and Jenna and Alaric, John, even John. I mean, they're all dead. Everyone is dead. So what am I supposed, how am I gonna, I can't even, there's nothing left for me anymore. Ah!
After watching Elena gracefully handle loss after loss, it's hard to watch her lose control.
No, it hurts. It hurts. Just make it stop. Please make it stop. It hurts.
Before we unveil our saddest number 1 pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Damon compels Elena to forget his confession. He finally admits his feelings but doesn't believe he deserves her, so he erases her memory.
God, we shouldn't have to forget this.
But you do.
What Caroline's dad does to her. Like Liz before him, Bill Forbes hates vampires so much that he torments his daughter.
Daddy, I'm starving.
I know you are, Care. Try.
Why? You know that this isn't going to work.
It has to work. It's the only option.
Why are you trying to fix me?
So I don't have to kill you.
When Stefan and Elena broke up, for real. They shared a deep and genuine love, but when Catherine puts Jenna in the hospital, Elena chooses her family.
I've been so selfish because I love you so much. And I know how much you love me. But it's over. Stefan, it has to be. No, Stefan. It has to be.
Damon and Alaric's ghost at Alaric's grave. Damon's left unhappy and overwhelmed with responsibility when Rick dies.
I didn't get the girl. Remember? I'm just stuck here fighting with my brother and taking care of the kids. You owe me big.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Stefan's sacrifice and goodbye to Elena. It looked like Stefan and Caroline would be getting their happily ever after when he's turned back into a human and they wed. But with the biggest danger facing their town yet looming in the near future, Stefan decides to sacrifice his own life to save the day and ensure Damon can live on to see Elena wake back up.
I wanted that Damon to live. And I wanted you to have an opportunity to get to know him. He's the better man.
He had his demons, but always left us rooting for him. After decades of sibling rivalries, love triangles, and brotherhood, it was heartbreaking to see the Salvatore brothers finally part ways.
Goodbye, brother.
But no one can deny that Stefan made every moment count.
Wow. That was beautiful.
It's feeling epic.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.